Hey everybody, how's it going? Do you see what they're doing? Do you see? They started in California and they moved to Hawaii. Now they're tearing up the East Coast in the southern states, flooding all these fires and everything else. And people are going to start getting away. Where are they going to go? Right where those that are strumming the harp want them. Let me read something to you. YHWSHA chapter 24. And going out, YHWSHA went away from the Mikdash, and his Talmudim came near to point out to him the buildings of the Mikdash. And YHWSHA said to them, Do you not see all these? Truly I say to you, not one stone shall be left here upon another at all, which shall not be thrown down. And as he sat on the Mount of Olives, the Talmudim came to him separately, saying, Say to us, when shall this be? And what is the sign of your coming and the end of the age? And YHWSHA answered and said to them, Take heed that no man leads you astray, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, and they shall lead many astray. And you shall begin to hear of fightings and reports of fightings. See that you are not troubled, for these have to take place. But the end is not yet. What's going on right now? Iran, I already went through Iraq, all of them, Libya, Lebanon, the list goes on and on. For nation shall rise against nation, and reign against reign, and there shall be scarcities of food. What else are they doing? Stealing all of the farmers' land, squeezing out the little ones. And the big ones are already working for the big guys up there at the top of the food chain. So, scarcities of food, flooding, and deadly diseases, and earthquakes in places. And all these are the beginning of birth pains. Then they shall deliver you up to affliction and kill you, and you shall be hated by all nations for my name's sake. And then many shall stumble, and they shall deliver up one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise up and lead many astray. And because of the increase in lawlessness, the love of many shall become cold. But he who shall have endured to the end shall be saved. And the good news of the reign shall be proclaimed in all the world as a witness to all the nations, and then the end shall come. Oh well. So when you see the abomination that lays waste, spoken of by Daniel, the Navi, put up in the Mikdash, he who reads, let him understand. Then let those who are in Yehudah flee to the mountains. Let him who is on the housetop not come down to take whatever out of this house. Let him who is in the field not turn back to get his garments. And woe to those who are pregnant and to those who are nursing children in those days. Pray that your flight does not take place in winter or on the Shabbat, Sabbath. For then there shall be great distress, such as has not been seen since the beginning of the world until this time, no, nor ever shall be. Do you know what he's talking about? The flood. And if those days were not shortened, no flesh would be saved. But for the sake of the chosen ones, those days shall be shortened. If anyone then says to you, look, here is Ha Mashiach, or there, do not believe. For false messiahs and fake prophets shall arise, and they shall show great signs and wonders, so as to lead astray, if possible, even the chosen. See, I have forewarned you. So if they say to you, look, he is in the desert, do not go out. Or look, he is in the inner rooms, do not believe. For as the lightning comes from the east and shines to the west, so also shall the coming of the Son of Adam be. For wherever the dead body is, there the vultures shall be gathered together. And then immediately after the distress of those days, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give its light, and the stars shall fall from the Shamayim heavens, and the powers of the Shamayim shall be shaken. And then the sign of the Bane, son of Adam, shall appear in the Shamayim, and then all the tribes of the earth shall mourn, and they shall see the son of Adam coming on the clouds of the Shamayim with power and much esteem. And he shall send his messengers with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his chosen ones from the four winds, from one end of the Shamayim to the other. Learn a parable from the fig tree. When its branch has already become tender and puts forth leaves, you know that the summer is near. So you also, when you see all these, know that he is near at the doors. Truly I say to you, this generation shall by no means pass away until all this takes place. The Shamayim and the earth shall pass away, but my words shall by no means pass away. But concerning that day and the hour, no one knows, not even the messengers of the Shamayim, but my Father only. And as the days of Noah, so also shall the coming of the Son of Adam be. For as they were in the days before the flood, eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until that day Noah entered into the ark, and they did not know until the flood came and took them all away. So also shall the coming of the Son of Adam be. Then two shall be in the field, the one is taken and the one is left. Two shall be grinding at the mill, one is taken and one is left. Watch therefore, for you do not know what hour your master is coming. And know this, if the master of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched and not allowed his house to be broken into. Because of this, be ready too, for the Son of Adam is coming at an hour when you do not expect him. Who then is a trustworthy and wise servant, whom his master put over his household to give them food in season? Baruch, blessed, is that servant, whom his master having come shall find doing. Truly I say to you, that he shall put him over all his possessions. But if that evil servant says in his heart, my master is delaying his coming, and begins to beat his fellow servants and to eat and drink with the drunkards, the master of that servant shall come on a day when he does not expect it, and an hour he does not know, and shall cut him in two, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. I had all these marked off, but they fell out when I picked up my book. Doesn't matter, I know them. Just take me a minute to find them. Marcos, chapter 13. And as he went out of the Mikdash, one of the Talmudim said to him, Teacher, see what stones and what buildings. And speaking of buildings, look around your place wherever you live, and you'll see buildings that stand out like sore thumbs. They're called Old World. They've been there since before the flood. They withstood the flood. You look at some of these places in North Carolina. Pardon me a minute. My taters were overflowing. Okay, I'm sorry. And Yahusha answering said to him, do you see these great buildings? Not one stone shall be left upon another at all, which shall not be thrown down. And as he sat on the Mount of Olives opposite the Mikdash, Kepha and Yaakov and Yochanan and Andre asked him separately, say to us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign when all this is going to be accomplished? And Yahusha began to say to them, take heed that no one leads you astray, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am he, and they shall lead many astray. And when you hear fightings and reports of fightings, do not be troubled. These things, it has to take place, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation and reign against reign, and there shall be earthquakes in various places, and there shall be scarcities of food and disturbances. These are the beginnings of birth pains. But take heed to yourselves, for they shall deliver you up to councils and to congregations. You shall be beaten, and you shall be brought before rulers and sovereigns for my name's sake, for a witness to them. And the good news has to be proclaimed first to all the nations. When they lead you away and deliver you up, do not worry beforehand what you are to say. But whatever is given you in that hour, speak that, for it is not you who are speaking, but the Ruach HaKodesh. And brother shall deliver up brother to death. And if father is child, and his children shall rise up against parents and shall put them to death. And you shall be hated by all because of my name. And anybody who says that his name isn't important, don't read. For that J-man is not his name. But he who shall have endured to the end, he shall be saved. And when you see the abomination that lays waste, spoken of by Daniel the Navi, put up where it should not be, he who reads, let him understand. Then let those who are in Yehudah flee to the mountains. And he who is on the housetop, let him not go down into the house, nor come in to take whatever out of his house. And he who is in the field, let him not go back to gather his cloak. And woe to those who are pregnant and those nursing children in those days. And pray that your flight does not take place in winter. For in those days there shall be distress, such as has not been from the beginning of creation, which Yahweh created till this time, nor ever shall be. And if the master had not shortened those days, no flesh would have been saved. But because of the chosen ones, whom he chose, he shortened the days. And if anyone then says to you, look, here is HaMashiach, or look, there, do not believe it. For false Mashiachs and false prophets shall rise and show signs and wonders to lead astray, if possible, even the chosen ones. And you take heed. See, I have forewarned you of it all. But in those days, after that distress, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give its light. The stars of the Shamaim shall fall, and the powers in the Shamaim shall be shaken. And then they shall see the son of Adam coming in the clouds with much power and esteem. And then he shall send his messengers and assemble his chosen ones from the four winds, from the furthest part of the earth to the furthest part of the Shamaim. And learn this parable from the fig tree. When its branch has already become tender and puts forth leaves, you know that the summer is near. So you also, when you see these things take place, know that it is near, at the door. Truly I say to you, this generation shall by no means pass away till all this takes place. The Shamaim and the earth shall pass away, but my words shall by no means pass away. But concerning that day and the hour, no one knows, not even the messengers of the Shamaim, nor the Son, but only the Father. Take heed, watch and pray, for you do not know when the time is. As a man going abroad, having left his house and given authority to his servants and to each his work, and commanded the doorkeeper to watch. Watch therefore, for you do not know when the master of the house is coming, in the evening or at midnight, or at the crowing of the cock, or in the morning, lest coming suddenly he should find you sleeping. And what I say to you, I say to all, watch. Lucas, chapter 21. And looking up, he saw the rich putting their gifts into the treasury, and he saw a certain poor widow putting in 2 small coins. And he said, truly, I say to you, that this poor widow has put in more than all. For all these out of their excess have put in offerings for the Most High. But she, out of her poverty, has put in all that she had to live on. And as some were speaking about the mikdash, that it was adorned with pleasant stones and gifts, he said, these that you see, the days are coming, in which not one stone shall be left upon another, that shall not be thrown down. And they asked him, saying, Teacher, but when shall this be? And what is the sign when this is about to take place? And he said, see that you are not led astray, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am, and the time is near. Then do not go after them. But when you hear of fightings and unrests, do not be alarmed. These have to take place first, but the end is not yet immediately. Then he said to them, nation shall rise against nation, reign against reign. There shall be great earthquakes in various places, and scarcities of food and deadly diseases. And there shall be terrors and great signs from the Shamaim, and there shall be great tempests. But before all this, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the congregations and prisons, and be brought before sovereigns and rulers for my name's sake. And he was talking about them, the Yahudim, them who followed him, those. And it shall turn out to you for a witness. Therefore resolve in your hearts not to premeditate on what to answer. For I shall give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to refute or resist. And if you shall also be betrayed by parents and brothers and relatives and friends, and some of you shall be put to death, and you shall be hated by all because of my name. Do you understand? It ain't because of that Jesus name. No, the world worships Jesus. They worship God. They worship the Lord, Jehovah, Christ. The world worships. But not a hair of your head shall be lost at all. Possess your lives by your endurance. And when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, then know that its laying waste is near. Then let those in Yehudah flee to the mountains, and let those who are in the midst of her go out, and let not those who are in the fields enter her, because these are days of vengeance to fill all that have been written. And woe to those who are pregnant and to those who are nursing children in those days, for there shall be great distress in the earth and wrath upon this people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword and be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trampled underfoot by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are filled. And there shall be signs in the sun and moon and stars, and on the earth anxiety of nations, in bewilderment at the roaring of the sea and agitation. Men fainting from fear and the expectation of what is coming on the earth, for the powers of the Shamaim shall be shaken. And then they shall see the Bane, son of Adon, coming in a cloud with power, much esteem. And when these begin to take place, look up and lift up your heads, because your redemption draws near. And he spoke a parable to them. Look at the fig tree and all the trees. When they have already budded, observing it, you shall know for yourselves that summer is now near. So you also, when you see these things take place, know that the reign of the Most High is near. Truly I say to you, this generation shall by no means pass away till all shall have taken place. And the Shamaim in the earth shall pass away, but my words shall by no means pass away. And take heed to yourselves, lest your hearts be weighed down by gluttony and drunkenness and worries of this life, and that day come upon you suddenly. For it shall come as a snare on all those dwelling on the face of the earth. Watch, Watch then at all times, and pray that ye be counted worthy to escape all this about to take place, and to stand before the Son of Adam. And he was teaching in the Mikdash by day, but at night he went out and stayed on the Mount of Olives. And early in the morning all the people came to him in the Mikdash to hear him. The point I'm making about this, I'm sure that you're understanding what I'm saying, or what I'm about to say. What's going on right now? I don't watch the news myself, but I glean things from other people, like on Rumble, sometimes YouTube, BitChute. The whole point is, look around you. What's going on? I'm just going to say it, the Kabbalah globalists who are actually running the world are doing these things to people, burning them, burning out their homes, bulldozing them, flooding them, making sure there's tons and tons of other people from other countries coming in here to take what the so-called government isn't giving to their people. Look what they're doing. Look what they're doing. They don't even feed and clothe their own, but yet they're going to give these people from other places, especially Haiti and wherever else they're from, because there's others, not just Haitians. They give them all kinds of things, but yet they won't even help their homeless. They won't help their own American people that have been born here in this place. You know, I was watching something earlier. Those poor people in North Carolina, those poor people in Tennessee. And now there's another one, Milton. You ever read that? I've never read Milton, but I know of some of his works. One of them, Paradise Lost, is a big one. What are they doing? What have they been doing? So now that they have put us from taking care of ourselves and just finding a little plot of land and tilling it up and raising animals and, living, put us as shoppers. Oh, because of. See, that's where they have everyone. They own everything. Money, which to them means nothing. It means nothing. It means everything to all of us because we need it to live, but it means nothing to them. And why? Because that's not what they want. They want control of you. They want to know what you think. They want to know what you hear. They want to know what you see. They want to know what you speak. They want to know what you eat. They want your soul. Control. It's all about control. If you've never watched Star Trek, you watch Voyager. There's a better one than that Next Generation crap. Voyager has a whole lot more about a Borg drone, because that's what they want you to be, a Borg drone. They don't want you to own anything. They don't want you to do anything other than what they want you to do. Personally, I would rather die than have anything to do with them and their way. And you got to figure out what you want to do with yourself. Are you going to just Well, where are you going to prepare? Because right here is the biggest preparation ever. I'm not even talking about food and water, generators and all that stuff. They can take you out of your house anytime they want. And these people that are living off the grid, they think they're safe. No, they're not any safer than those of us who have to go to the store. We're all in on it. We're all in it. They are all in on it. I said that wrong. I'm sorry. But yeah, all of them. Every single leader in every single country. And if the leader in the country don't like it, they do away with him and put someone else there, as you have clearly seen in other places. So I would advise you, if you don't know the Most High and His Son, I would advise you to get to know Him. And not from the KJV, because that has evil wrote in it to take you away from Yahweh and YHWSHA, His Son. And I mean that. The world worships Lord God Jesus Christ. The world worships it. The world, the whole world. Heed my words. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves.